I was about 19 in college, and I had just recently been uprooted to move across the country back home and be closer to my family in order to take care of them. And in the process, I was having to change colleges as well. I think it was probably a mixture of just the stress from having to move and honestly a pretty poor diet and lifestyle at the time period, but it had caused a super adverse flare-up of GERD where I was not able to keep down any water or food without being in excruciating pain or throwing it up for about 17 days on and off. And in the process, I became incredibly malnourished and dehydrated, as well as the fact that I couldn't necessarily take care of my everyday responsibilities. And it took multiple weeks of medications and multiple specialty doctors, as well as undergoing surgery in order to get me back on track. I still very much have GERD, but it's a lot more expected at this point, so it isn't as impactful as it was. In long spans of time where I've been doing pretty good and haven't had any flare-ups, I kind of just weigh the options. Because one thing about it is typically what a flare-up looks like for me is throwing up, both throw up and bile, which is something that's held inside of your liver. And outside of that, you can become nauseous from other things, but a constant symptom for me is stomach pain. So no matter how well I am doing, I still exhibit pretty severe stomach pain. So sometimes I just weigh out the pain and understand that sometimes I deserve to enjoy specific things. And when I do that spaced out enough, it doesn't impact too much. I might spend a week being in pretty serious pain, but the trade-off is okay. But recently I did actually do that, and it caused me to have to go to the hospital. I ended up eating a chocolate chip cookie that I had made for my partner, and it made me incredibly sick. And I kind of just had the realization of, yeah, it's been a lot of time of me doing well, and yeah, I'm really dedicated to my health and making the right decisions for it. But I think I just had this idea that GERD is something I'd be able to heal over time to a point where it wouldn't impact me anymore. And now I've kind of been wrapping my head around the fact that this is a constant. It's something that I've been diagnosed with, and I understand that it might be like this forever and that that's okay. I think it's changed my mind a lot in terms of appreciation. I didn't really appreciate the fact that I could just have whatever I wanted for so many years, and I think about that pretty often. So the things that I do enjoy, even though they seem a lot more bland to me, I'm a lot more appreciative of them. And also, it's made me super intuitive of, like, other people's issues. Like, if I have friends who are drinking and then they eat a specific food and they're not feeling well, or people who eat a bunch of acidic foods back to back and they don't understand why they don't feel good, I'm usually the person that can give them tea and sit them down and explain, hey, maybe try doing this and you might feel a little bit better. It just makes me a little bit more aware of others. And in terms of myself, I'm super, like, in tune with how I feel now. I would just get kind of random pains when I was younger, and I wouldn't really think to sit there and ask myself what it could be and why. But now I just kind of know what every single feeling I'm getting is and what I should do to take care of it. In terms of other people, I kind of just realized how uncomfortable things outside of the norm can be for others, and how that could be something you might visibly see on them. Like when I go out and I can't have certain things and I'm in a group setting, sometimes it can make people uncomfortable and make them feel like you're a lot of work almost. I will also say that it's changed me in negative ways as well. I'm a lot more reclusive. I will say that it can make you a little bit negative to not feel well all the time. But overall, I think in terms of my lifestyle, I've just changed a lot and prioritized the longevity of keeping everything else good. Like, I prioritize sleep and little brain games for my brain. I eat lots of foods that are good for my cardiovascular and nervous system. I try to work out pretty consistently and things so I can make sure the rest of my body that functions properly continues to do so. I think I used to be in this mindset that if everything was functioning the way that it was supposed to be, then that was it. And I didn't look at it as anything to maintain or to give maintenance to. And now that I do, I think I look a lot younger. I think I look a lot healthier and brighter. So even if it doesn't necessarily feel that way all the time, I think it is making a difference. Something in your life drastically changes, or there's a piece of yourself that you think is so pivotal to your entire being, and something's taken away from you, or something in you changes, and you just feel like you can't come to terms with your new you and your new reality. I would say that everybody's constantly changing. There's so many things that you love that you forgot about, and there's so many things that you equally have absolutely hated and have forgotten about. So over time, whatever is this new jarring thing for you will become old news. It's going to be something that you're used to, and not in a monotonous sense, but you're going to have new amazing things. Like, once you adjust to a certain lifestyle where you feel like you're lacking so many things, there's going to be new things that you try out on account of that you never would have if you were in any other scenario. And I think that there's a lot of moments and great things that are going to come of that. I hated being sick. I hate being sick. But at the same time, having my partner even take care of me in those moments was super important for building trust in our relationship, or even the foundation of our relationship. I felt a grave sense of almost connection to people when they've been there for me. And also, I've loved to provide that support as well. So there's going to be new things that you discover. Whatever is lost, there's something that's always going to be of equal gain. And that used to just be something that I used to say, but I actually believe it now. So